Hi guys and welcome. I'm trying to use this application which is on my desktop here. Okay, I think I'll just scroll from the side. So guys, this is the white paper, beta financial and technology proposal, February 20, 2018, by the Venezuelan government. And what the government has done, the government of Venezuela, Gobierno Bolivariano de Venezuela, so that's the Bolivian government of Venezuela. What they have done is they've come up with a cryptocurrency which is going to be their national currency after they've run into some financial problems. Now, one of the things I've always been talking about of late is the Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is the most prominent, but I think a few people are beginning to also realize that there is a blockchain technology behind it. But those in the know of Bitcoin will tell you that actually Bitcoin represents all of those things that the blockchain is purported to represent. Because really, the blockchain is just a nice word for Bitcoin. It's like the way that banks would like to use so that it does not look like they are using Bitcoin. But you'll find that in this paper itself, they do mention Bitcoin. So let's see. I'll be taking questions actually, as many questions as you can actually ask, because I've read through in fact, what I've done is browse through this, and it makes a little bit of sense. I'll just go through some of the main points here, unless if there are any questions, please do ask. What I've actually done now is to put my phone on the side so that I can be able to see questions as soon as they come up. So I'll just read part of the executive summary. So the Petro or PTR has its origin in the idea of President Hugo Chavez of a strong currency backed by raw materials. So they want to use raw materials to be able to make a strong currency. Its background dates back to the proposals for global financial and monetary coordination. So there have been proposals for global financial and monetary coordination prior to the hegemony of the US dollar. So the US dollar has dominated and has become the de facto global financial reserve currency. So this resurfaced after the financial crisis of the late 1990s. The blockchain allows the transfer of value and information. Okay, transfer of value and information without third parties. Unfortunately, the government itself is a third party in this case. So the government introducing a national currency when they are themselves a third party, it will be interesting to see how it all plays out. They provide the tools to successfully face the challenge of creating platforms and financial instruments that are transparent, efficient, and inclusive. Thanks, Timothy, Ines, and Mantaza for the like. if there is a question, please, or a comment, just put it in there and I'll have a look at it and see if I can answer it. So Petro will be sovereign crypto asset backed by oil assets. So they want to back the crypto using oil assets, and it will be issued by the Venezuelan state. Let me just see. I'm using this software for the first. There we go. I've enabled. I can see the comments right on the side now. Right, so the Petro will be a sovereign crypto asset backed by oil assets and issued by the Venezuelan state as a spearhead for the development of an independent, transparent, and open digital economy, open to direct participation of citizens. It will also serve as a platform for the growth of a fairer financial system that contributes to development, autonomy, and trade between emerging economies. So, create overlay. I don't know if that's a comment. Let me check. Damien Hood. I don't think that's a comment there, Timothy. One comment. The comment is just a like. Okay. Let me like that back. Welcome. So welcome Timothy and welcome Colin. I'm explaining here the Petro, which is like a Bitcoin, but it's the Petro, and it's issued by the government of Venezuela. They've issued this currency or this cryptocurrency to their citizens and to the rest of the world. I think a crypto means that anyone could be able to buy it. Okay, so why are they doing this? Just a second, guys. I need to answer this phone call quickly. Yes, William? Hapana, you say? Naida utara ya mpofi. Ujapinde pala. Oh. Right. Iko nondiri pane imwe ka yandikuita ye cryptocurrency in Venezuela. But I don't want to be too long. Maybe I'll take another 10 minutes. All right, beautiful. Okay. All right, guys. So this is as authentic as it gets, I guess. Simon, welcome. I know we've been talking about this for some time, Simon. So here is the first country, Simon, that has decided to test the cryptocurrency waters. They have come up with their own Bitcoin. Welcome, Margaret. So Venezuela has come up with their own crypto asset or cryptocurrency. It's like a Bitcoin, but it's not Bitcoin. There are so many things that are different to the Bitcoin about this Petro. So it's called the Petro. I'll just go through what I think the Venezuelan government is trying to do. So the adoption of blockchain technology in the global marketplace is not simply a temporary trend or fashion, but a firm and continuous shift towards a future in which the management of personal, institutional, and potentially state finances will become easier, straightforward, quicker, and more transparent. So I think this is one government which has realized that Bitcoin and the concept of the cryptocurrency and the blockchain is the future. And so I think they are trying to issue their own cryptocurrency, maybe test the waters, maybe they become the example or the case study that other countries will need in order to probably do the same or simply allow the use of cryptocurrencies in their economies. So its use has generated a universe. So two of the applications of this technology, cryptocurrency and tokens, stand out in popularity. Right. I think my keyboard has done something here. Let me see if I can find that my Evernote again. Let's have a look. It's not there. Let's have a look here. There it is. I found it. So back to that. So its use has generated a universe of opportunities that have the potential to alter conventional business practices, especially in industries based on intermediation for exchange or verification, such as finance, trade, manufacturing, and even in areas of human knowledge that usually adopt technological innovations in longer terms, such as laws and politics. Right, so they've got quite a bit of, they've got 7 references here from HBR website, Capital Markets blog, JP Morgan, JBS.com, Forbes, Business Insider, and CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap is a good one if you want to find out what's happening in the crypto universe on a daily basis. They've got new stories every day, and also they give you a rundown of what the current prices are for the cryptocurrencies. So still moving on to this, the Petro is breaking in with a promising outlook, taking advantage of the early maturity of blockchain technology, a market of more than 30 million people eager for savings, blah, 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 a world-renowned oil industry. So they are basing their, they are baking it with the price of a barrel of oil, and there they've got more references there. I'll just go to a graph in which they show just how much oil barrels they have. So as a country, Venezuela is right at the top. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 6 is a billion, 9 is a billion, so 300 trillion barrel oil, 300 trillion, 900 million. In fact, 300 billion, 900 billion barrels of oil. That's Venezuela. Then Saudi Arabia is on 266 billion, 500 million. And Canada is on 169 billion. And Nigeria is 37 billion barrels of oil. So what they will do is they will peg the price of their crypto to the price of oil on that day. The only problem with that, I think, in the long term is that we are going to see the price of oil take a battering once we have more and more usage of renewable resources. So I think solar is coming up strong, and in the next 20 to 30 years, the Venezuelans would have to come up with a new backing for their crypto. So that's the only problem. And I wonder if Nigeria and Libya can also start thinking about how they can use their natural resources, whether it's by cryptocurrencies or otherwise, but they really need to start taking advantage of this of the resources which I have. Okay, so I don't think that there is anything more to say here, except to read this quote which says Petro is a much more ambitious project than other digital convertible currencies such as the DIGIX or gold-backed. So there are others which are gold-backed, and there is the Tether, which is backed in dollars. So this Tether is just done a 1:1 with the US dollar, so whatever the US dollar is. But the problem is that when the Americans decide to print more US dollars through quantitative easing or just printing or creating money out of nothing. It means we also have tether out of nothing. So it's something which I don't think is really going to work. It opens the opportunity for using all other assets to back up the currency due to the condition of crypto asset with state sanction, not control on its own platform. The instrument has a massive adoption potential with an approximate of 31 million people in Venezuela alone. So Venezuela has already got 31 million people. So they will be, obviously they will try to support, most of them will try to support their country by using the petrol. Okay, so the petrol will have three facets: means of exchange, as a digital platform, and as a savings and investment facility. And they are looking at this thing. There was a graph here. There's a pie chart which I'm going to show you in a minute. Where is that pie chart? There we go. So the pre-sale, they'll sell 38%, 38.4%, and the pre-sale 44% in the initial offer, and 17% remains as sub-carbon. And sub-carbon, let me show you what sub-carbon is. I think sub-carbon is what the government will keep, and this is how they're going to distribute the funding for this. So 55% as sovereign fund, 15% as technological development, 15% for ecosystem development, and the Petro project will need 15% just to keep it going. Okay, so guys, this is just an example of what to do when you write a white paper, what kind of information to include in the white paper, because what you want is for people to understand what your asset is all about and how they can make a contribution, or how they can also benefit from it. So it's important that you write a comprehensive white paper, and also to understand blockchain in general, cryptocurrencies, crypto assets. It's important that you read these white papers. Okay, so I just browsed through this and I was just showing you the main highlights of the Petro. So the Petro is the first cryptocurrency which has been issued by a national government, and Venezuela is this government, and they have been going through problems economically, and most people are blaming the sanctions imposed on them by the United States, and this is supposed to bust those functions. It's supposed to be sanctions busting. So it's an idea that, you know, as African countries, I think, could also look at, not necessarily to implement it, but it's important to understand how these things work, because then you can also implement some of the ideas from these things. So guys, in the absence of any questions, I'm going to call it a day now. I mean, I'm going to call it a video or a live, because I've got something coming up. I'll be joining William Chinyanga. We're going to talk about the drama that we saw unfolding, that I saw in this video, which was unfolding as a cabinet minister was being supposed to be interviewed or cross-examined by a parliamentary committee, but apparently refused to cooperate. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about that, and what are the implications of such behavior, or what does it say about where the country is going, or where the country has come from. So thank you, Colin, Timothy, Simon, Margaret, and Modi Pams. Thank you for watching. Any questions, just drop them in the comments. If necessary, I'll do another video just to answer those questions on Bitcoin, on the blockchain, on what it means to have this as a national currency, etc., etc. So thank you again for watching, guys.